Presenting the field to you here, we'll start with the one-horse Wild Syn. Should be the speed in the race and allowance winner in Florida, but 7th beaten 16 lengths in the Hutchinson Stakes. The rider, 6-time Keeneland champion Randy Romero. He won this race in 1989 on Western Playboy. The 2 horses, Suave Prospect, carrying the colors of William Condren, second by a nose and a neck to Thunder Gulch in Florida, has been first or second in 7 of his last 8 starts. The rider, the winningest female jockey in this sport's history, Julie Crow. The 3, the first of 4 Keeneland sale horses, Tejano Run, $20,000 purchase, fast closing second to the filly Serena's Song and the Jim Beam, has won both starts though at Keeneland. Mickey Walls, apprentice champion of Canada and the United States, has the assignment. The 4-horse, the race favorite, the $120,000 Keeneland purchase. This is Michael Tabor's Thunder Gulch, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, who won the race in 1987, undefeated in 95, winner of the Florida Derby. Pat Day, 12-time riding champion here, has the ride. Jambalaya Jazz, purchased at that 2-year-old thoroughbred sale just a year ago for $85,000, has won over $172,000, third in the Fountain of Youth. Sam Maple, winner of more than 2,500 races, is the jock. Rounding out the field, the 6th is Gadzook, the first horse for the Doozy stable. This team won the Tampa Bay Derby in its stakes debut. Gary Boulanger, the rider, recently riding champion at Calder. There's the field, $500,000 at stake. They're loading in for this Bluegrass Stakes. Let's go to the top of the stands. Mike Battaglia to call it. Mike?
Okay, they're almost in, waiting for the outside horse, Gadzook, and will be ready to go in the Bluegrass. Gadzook balked just a little bit. The others standing well. System starters now loading Gadzook. He's in. They're all in line for the Bluegrass. All standing well. And they're off. For the lead from the inside, that's Wild Syn, Suave Prospect. The outside, Thunder Gulch, Tejano Run a close-up fourth. Then Gadzook and Jambalaya Jazz. As we move into the first turn, Wild Syn is in front. Has it a length, Suave Prospect is second. To the outside, Thunder Gulch third. Length back, Tejano Run is fourth. Gadzook fifth. Jambalaya Jazz is sixth. As they move for the backstretch, Wild Syn is in front. Has it a length, Thunder Gulch moves to the outside, second ahead. Then Suave Prospect, Jambalaya Jazz gains ground through on the rail, takes fourth. It's a length back to Tejano Run and Gadzook. Field well bunched as they move down the backstretch. It's Wild Syn with the lead, now a half length. Thunder Gulch on the outside, second ahead. Jambalaya Jazz third ahead. Suave Prospect fourth. Length and a half to Gadzook and Tejano Run. Into the turn, the leader, Wild Syn, has it by a length. The inside, Jambalaya Jazz, Suave Prospect, Thunder Gulch on the outside. Then it's a length back to Tejano Run and Gadzook. They're into the turn, and Wild Syn is still in front. Has it now by a length. On the outside, Suave Prospect second ahead. Thunder Gulch third. Gadzook is fourth. Tejano Run is gaining ground fifth. Jambalaya Jazz drops back to trail. As they move into the stretch, Suave Prospect, Wild Syn. The outside, Thunder Gulch. Jambalaya Jazz comes back again. Tejano Run between horses, but it's still Wild Syn. He has the lead. Wild Syn on the outside, Suave Prospect with Tejano Run, but Wild Syn steals the Bluegrass in front all the way under Randy Romero, wins it by 2.5. Looks like Suave Prospect holds on for second over Tejano Run, and Wild Syn sets a slow pace, gets a half in 49, and finishes in 1:49 and 1.
What you just saw is Kentucky's version of Larry the Legend. This Triple Crown picture has been turned upside down in the last 2 weeks. We're looking for afternoon delight, so the champion Timber Country to do the San Diego Derby, Larry the Legend knocked him off. We're looking here for Thunder Gulch, Suave Prospect, maybe Tejano Run, but look on the lead. Wild Syn, the white cap, the red colors, in the silks of Jurgen Arneman, who's from Franklin, Kentucky. Trying to catch him on the outside is Suave Prospect. Now, Suave Prospect will do one thing. He'll finish in front of Thunder Gulch, but he can't beat the pace setter Wild Syn. Speed steals the Bluegrass of 1995. And yes, Suave Prospect finally did finish in front of Thunder Gulch, but for the place spot, not for the victory. Wow, shake him up, tumble him out. Who knows who'll be favored for the 1995 Kentucky Derby? afternoon as 30-1 Wild Syn under Randy Romero. And oh, he deserves to celebrate. This tough luck rider who's battled back from so many injuries, has retired 2 different times in the last 3 years. Looks like he's found a home back here in Kentucky. Randy Romero, 6-time Keeneland riding champion, has just won his 2nd Bluegrass. Remember back in 1989 on the Illinois-bred Western Playboy for Harvey Veneer. Now he comes back with a Kentucky bred, owned and bred by Jürgen Arnemann. Born in Berlin, Germany, he's been a lifelong resident, though, of Franklin, Kentucky. Randy Romero comes to the winner's circle with Wild Syn, and Bob, speed was the factor.
The electronic teletimer told it all. The half mile in 49 seconds, and Randy Romero hypnotized this field on the front end with Wild Syn. There's Jambalaya Jazz, who made a darting move up the inside, could not sustain it, and the cat and mouse game between Julie Crone and the Gold Silks and Pat Day and the blue and orange outside. I'm sure they're thinking, yeah, Wild Syn's going to come back to us. But he doesn't. Romero kicks on with it, and in fact, it is the other horses, Suave Prospect and Thunder Gulch, that can't finish the race. In fact, it's the jubilant Randy Romero who lulled this field through plodding fractions of 24-1, 49, 113-1, 137 2/5 for the mile. The final time of 149-1 means Wild Syn ran his last 8th in 11-4. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, folks, and this was the Brinks robbery revisited for Randy Romero and Wild Syn. Pace makes the race, they say. The Wittenauer splits will show it. Dawdling fractions, 49, 13-1, 37-2, and the final time for Wild Syn and Randy Romero of 149-1. What an upset! 30-1 for Wild Syn and Randy Romero. Chris?
That's the first place check. Wild Syn, before this race, total earnings under $35,000. Burton Jones making the presentation to Jürgen Arnemann, a native of Franklin, Kentucky. In the middle, the jockey Randy Romero. Mr. Arnemann is also the breeder. Wild Syn is by the first Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Wild again, out of the Sovereign Dancer mare, Sinoformer, and bred here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And this race is official, and it has been a stunning upset here in the Bluegrass. Big payoffs to show you here. Wild Syn returns $62.40. 1980 and 6. Suave Prospect, $423.40. Tejano Run, $340. The Exacta returning $286, 149-1, almost 2 seconds off the stakes record. Now let's look at the full order. And I know you're going to want to find out, where was Thunder Gulch, who finished first in the Florida Derby and in the Fountain of Youth? Well, he finished 4th behind Tejano Run, then Jambalaya Jazz and Gadzook finishing last this afternoon. Who will go on to Kentucky? Wild Syn, perhaps? Certainly Suave Prospect, Tejano Run, and Thunder Gulch. The Bluegrass was 6. Might send 4 on to Run for the Roses. Randy Romero will be there. As Wild Syn has stolen the Bluegrass and returns $62.40. Bob Newmeyer with a man who's glad he made the steal today. Randy Romero.
Upsets, the essence of racing. 30-1 here in the Bluegrass, and joining me is the jubilant Randy Romero. Are you surprised by it all, honestly?
Well, it's just a good feeling, I'll tell you. It's been a long road, and I am surprised.
A long road for you. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about your trip here. We mentioned throughout this broadcast that there was little speed in this race other than you.
Well, I said I was going to go ahead and control my race, and if they didn't want to get me, they got to get me up front. And when I hit the 3/4 pole, I says, hell, I can win it. I had never extended him, and I knew he was going really, really slow. And I was shocked when I hit the 3/4 pole and I came up to the half. I says, I can win it.
Slow is an interesting word. Pokey would be more like it. And here you are leveling off for home, and I'm sure Julie Crone says, this guy's coming back to me. Pat Day on the outside, this guy's going to come back to me. And you had plenty in the tank.
Yes, he was willing to keep on running, and I was excited about the way he ran. He just opened up, and you might see about him in the big race.
11-4, the last 1/8 of a mile. Let's talk a little bit about Randy Romero. It's been up and down for you. I remember it so vividly on a rainy day at Churchill. Your great win on Personal Ensign had to be the highlight of your career. Hasn't gone that well lately, though, has it, Randy?
Since the deal with Go For One deal, it's been really hard to get myself back going again, and I'm hoping this makes a turnaround and make people believe in me again. And I've got myself healthy now and we're riding well, and just hoping for the best.
You never know in this game, do you?
You never know. You never know. That's true.
Surprise guy, but a jubilant one. Randy Romero, upset winner here in the Bluegrass. Chris?
Not many people happier in Kentucky right now than Jürgen Arnemann. You might have heard his name connected with a pretty good horse named Criminal Type. Horse, of course, was our Horse of the Year just a few years back. He owned a partnership with Calumet Farm. But Jürgen, this is special because as a breeder here in Kentucky, from Franklin, Kentucky, Arnemann Farms, this is yours.
Yes, I'm really happy. Before the race, I said I felt like Rodney Dangerfield, but now I feel you can't feel better than this. It's a great race. We had the toughest competition you can think of, and it's just a great day. I have no words for it, you know.
Well, tell us about your son, Tom. He is the trainer. I know he went right back with Wild Syn. Tell us about the job he's done.
Yes, Thomas is a trainer. We have our stable. Right now we stable at Churchill Downs and ship over here. And Kenny Martin is his assistant trainer, who's doing a great job with the horse.
Real quick, are you going to run in the Kentucky Derby?
We're looking at it very close. We have to see how the horse comes out of the race, because there's not much time between this one and the Derby.
3 weeks from today, you're going to wish you the very best. Let's go upstairs. Mike Battaglia. Mike, your perspective on this surprising Bluegrass.
Well, I just give Randy Romero all the credit. We can pick up the replay here, and Sammy Maple saw that this pace was slow. He came from dead last on Jambalaya Jazz, and he tried to make a big run up on the inside, but there was nothing there. Randy Romero lets the horse out a notch. The other two riders, Pat Day and Julie Crone, they had been laying perfectly the whole race, but when you get a half in 49, if you're any kind of a horse at all, it's too tough to run by you. And Tejano Run, he's only got the one run. He had to come from back just like he did. I can't fault Mickey Walls because he was riding under orders from Ken McPeak to stay back. He did that, and I just give all the credit in the world to Randy Romero and Wild Syn. Back to you, Chris.